Majora's Mask. It's one of the most iconic titles from the Legend of Zelda franchise. But the most iconic mechanic from the game is that you have this fixed period of time that you can do all of the tasks in. Sure, you can rewind time and you can try stuff over again through trial and error, but we really only have this window to accomplish everything in the game. So naturally, I thought to myself, what is the best way to manage my time in Majora's Mask? And ultimately, how does managing our time in Majora's Mask teach us about managing our time in real life? Stay tuned for the rest of the video and I hope you enjoy. I'm just gonna get real with you guys. Without proper time management, we are doomed to waste time. If we do not know how long a task is, we are going to waste time inevitably, and maybe not do it most optimally. And this isn't to criticize people who spend long periods of time on certain tasks. Some people just naturally take longer. And it's also not to say that you should optimize a task before you even have the chance to start a task. I know that I'm prone to starting a task and then just hyper analyzing what I can do to optimize it before I even begin. But with that in mind, let's talk about Majora's Mask and some of the mechanics about time, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes on how we can best utilize our time so we don't waste it. For those of you who don't know, Majora's Mask is an action-adventure video game that's developed by Nintendo for the Nintendo 64. The protagonist, Link, finds himself in the land of Termina. Termina is a parallel to the land of Hyrule, where the moon is threatening to crash into the world in 3 days, causing impending doom. If the name Termina doesn't hit the nail on the head for this sort of setting, I don't know what else does. Now we're going to gloss over most of the story from this point forward, seeing as this 3-day cycle is the most important part to what I'm trying to discuss here. We have approximately 54 minutes of real life time with Link to navigate the land of Termina, accomplishing quests along the way that will inevitably stop the moon from crashing in to this town. In order to do this, we have a series of puzzles, other interactions with people in the town, and also needing to complete dungeons for various things, ultimately granting us the abilities that we need to stop the moon from crashing into us. Now, like every good Legend of Zelda game, these abilities will be unlocked through doing these quests and seeing these certain characters throughout the game. But ultimately what we need to do is we need to manage these different side quests at particular times, doing it in the proper sequence in order to save the town. Which leads me into the first point that I want to talk about, sequencing ourselves. We need to know what's ahead of us first, and then we need to plan out our steps accordingly. Now, this can be stressful at times, especially when we're starting new tasks. We don't want to bog ourselves down with the micromanaging of, oh, I think I should do this task here, I think I should do this task here. I think ultimately what we need to do is we need to just start. Doing a task for the first time can always be daunting, and sometimes we can get analysis paralysis when we're trying to manage our time effectively. The lady that I live with tells me often that I need to just start the task. It's very easy to get bogged down with the, oh, I think I can do it this way, or I think I can do it that way. If we don't start the task, we're never going to understand how we can properly manage our time in the future when it comes to that particular task. So I think just starting is totally fine and not optimizing. But what can we do to optimize the task once we've done it maybe once or twice, right? What we can do is we can start laying out the mechanics of that particular task. And then what we can do is we can look at it as we need to accomplish these goals, right? What this ultimately does is it's going to reduce our stress when we're attempting to do a task over and over and over again. Say you're trying to learn how to play a particular competitive game. You wouldn't just go into the game over and over and over again, playing pretty much the same way, but expecting different results. I want to win and I want to, get to this certain level. Well, now you've got a goal in mind, right? You want to get to this particular rank in the game. Great. Now you need to break down the mechanics of getting to that level. And getting to that level might be straightforward for you. It's like, I need to practice my aiming, for instance, or I need to practice mashing this button over and over again. Well, now you've got the steps that you need to in order to achieve that goal that you're looking for. Now it just comes down to practicing those skills over and over and over again, and then you can go into that game and maybe you'll rank up, maybe you won't rank up. Over time, you're eventually going to become more proficient at those skills, and that's going to make you better at that game in the long run. Transfer that over to real life. You break down the tasks that you need to do in order to get to that goal that you want to achieve. This is how you increase efficiency, and it also is going to reduce stress on you when you know I need to do these particular goals. Now, what are the pitfalls when it comes to trying to accomplish these goals and achieve this level of success? What is the particular thing that's going to stop you from managing your time better? I think you know exactly what I'm getting at. Procrastination is the #1 killer of productivity and efficiency. This is going to be the thing that stops you when it comes to managing your time. Now, I'm just going to make a blanket statement right now that I probably am not going to hit every particular scenario that you could come across as an individual. We are all vastly different individuals. We all have unique characteristics, and we all have unique hurdles that we need to overcome. It is very difficult for me to articulate everything that I've gleaned from discipline in my life in one video. But I will say this, the small things that you do add up. Let me break this down a little bit more for you. When I was working on my degree in film, I didn't do everything that I needed to get my diploma all at once. I slept a lot, I didn't get all my assignments accomplished on time, and inevitably I missed some grades here and there. But I did accomplish my overall goal, which is getting a film degree. Now, achieving a film degree isn't the hardest degree in the world. There are far harder things in life, and there are far harder things that I've done in my personal life since then. But when you're looking at it as this is the thing I want to achieve, and these are the goals that I need to do in order to achieve that, they are broken down into smaller bits that are manageable. Just going to class, right? Going to class and then intaking that information, just listening to it, that's 2 tasks right there. And it may not seem like a lot, but when you look at it in the long run, the accumulation of all of the classes I took, going to those classes and then listening to the lectures of those classes, that is a lot over the span of 2 years. You don't realize how much effort you've put into something until you are at that finish line. And then you look back and you see everything that you've done. Even doing YouTube isn't just I uploaded the one video, right? It is the accumulation of all the videos that I've uploaded. It is not the millions of subscribers, although every subscriber that you get along the way is the accumulation of all the people that you've impacted. The people that I've impacted are the reason why I make videos like this. And ultimately, it's the things that you don't want to do that builds up the most discipline. You may not want to go to class, you may not want to get that assignment done, but just putting your foot forward and attempting to do something about it, whether you get a good grade or not, whether you intake enough information in that class or not, you put your foot forward in something that was maybe incredibly difficult for you to do. Those things are going to build up the most amount of discipline. And you may be saying to yourself, Noah, I really can't do this every single day. This takes so much out of me to do this one task. That is okay. If that one task takes up all of your energy and you think that it was worth it, then it was worth it to do that one task in that one day. You'll wake up the next day even stronger. I had this analogy a few years back, and I think it's applicable to use in this video now. It's gonna sound dumb, but I'm gonna talk about willpower points for a little bit. Now, points, like in every RPG, you have this bar and you can allot different skills to it. It's like in D&D, where you have different attributes and you can put points into it and then you get certain bonuses. Well, think of willpower points as one individual bar and you have a certain allotment of them per day. For the sake of giving it a number, you have 5 willpower points per day, right? And different tasks require different amounts of willpower points. For instance, let's say you need to do the dishes during the day, and that takes up 2 willpower points. Once you've accepted that task and you've started that task, you've used up those 2 willpower points, and then you have 3 willpower points left over. And then we'll say you need to do an assignment for college or whatever. That's going to take up another 2 willpower points, maybe 3 willpower points. When you're done using up all your willpower points, maybe you switch over to something that energizes you, like playing video games, and you regain 2 willpower points from playing video games. Well, now that all of your willpower points have been used up, you can't really do anything else with the rest of your day that's productive, so you end up doing, a mishmash of other things. Then you go to sleep, you wake up, and your willpower points are regained. But here's the thing. Because you've done those harder tasks before, it actually takes less willpower points. So for instance, a week from now, you do the dishes. You've done the dishes for an entire week prior to that, so now the amount of willpower points is no longer 2, but it is 1. And because you've done this homework assignment and you're getting used to the curriculum, it's no longer 3 willpower points, but 2 to do your assignment. So now you have more willpower points to play with during the day. You do your dishes, that's 1. You do the assignments, that's 2. Now you have these 2 left over to do whatever you want with. Now it's important to note that you can't get willpower points back. Once you've exhausted them, there's no way to regain willpower points. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I think for the general idea of it, we shouldn't use examples like, oh, I played video games, so I've rejuvenated myself. Now I have 2 more willpower points. I think ultimately we have the set amount of willpower points, whether you want to use a scale of 10, 20, 100, whatever, but we have that set amount of willpower points. But over time, these tasks become easier and easier, requiring less willpower points. Now you could argue that video games or things that you enjoy require 0 willpower points and they don't take up any energy at all. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. When it comes to this system, do you think this will be beneficial or will it not be beneficial? And if you don't want to comment anything below, just leave your favorite emoji. Now this is a channel about gaming and we are talking about time management here, so I think it's very important for me to say this. Your hobbies are not a waste of time. I thought that my hobbies were a waste of time and I stopped playing video games for a long period of time, and I was actually really sad because of that. Our passions in life and how we choose to spend our free time, that's really important too. That's almost as important as managing our time effectively and efficiently. we often discount the things that make us the most happy because, well, it's a waste of time. I'm spending too much time playing this game, or maybe I'm spending too much time with this group of people. Ultimately, that's your call, and you do have to have a level of awareness about how much time you're spending on certain things and if that's good for you to do or not. But it's not a waste of time to enjoy yourself. It's not a waste of time to have fun. Maybe if Link spent more time enjoying himself, he wouldn't be stuck in the situation that he's in. But that's not really his problem because he's not in control. But you're in control of your own actions, right? You're in control of Link. So use that. Be determined. Be tenacious. Ultimately, you're the one who's in control of your time, not me. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you come back for more videos in the future, because I really do like going in depth about these games, and this is how I enjoy spending my time, is talking to a camera and hopefully impacting your life in a positive way. I hope you found some meaning from this, and I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making this. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like there should be more to this video somehow, but that's all I got for you today. So I'll see you in the next video.